Okay, I remain Daniel So. I'm Daniel So, business coach, a consultant. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel to get more. Like, drop a comment. Thank you very much. Now we'll be talking about business, how to become a successful entrepreneur. Now, before we start, you must know the difference between entrepreneurship and entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is the business an entrepreneur is the person. The business is entrepreneurship. The business that you are about to start, that's classified as entrepreneurship. While the person starting up this business is known as the word entrepreneur. Now, after knowing the difference between entrepreneurship and entrepreneur, you have to know the difference between assets and liability. Now, assets are those things that brings money to your bank account. Now, liability are those things that takes money away from your bank account. Now, the difference between asset and liability is that assets brings, liability takes. Do you understand? Now, I'm writing, I'm jotting, I'm drawing some charts, but you can't actually see what I'm drawing because of it's not a board. I don't have a board yet, but I will advise you to get a pen, a book, and jot down. Now, after knowing asset and liability, the next thing we are going to look on is what you call stock. Now, what is stock? This simply means when you own a share in a company. Stock is actually these shares you own in a company. A shareholder. Being a shareholder, when we talk about stock, we are talking about shares. Stock, shares. When we talk about stock, when you hear about stock, just know they are referring to what? Shares. Now, equity. Now, when we talk about the next thing we are looking at now is equity. The simple definition of equity. Equity is simply the money or the worth of your business and your own worth. Like the worth of your business and your own financial capacity in that business, the things you own and the worth of the business, that's what we refer to as what? As equity. Do you understand? Assets minus liability, it simply means assets minus. When we talk about assets minus, I don't know if you're familiar to it, or I'm the first person telling you this. There's what we call assets minus. Assets minus simply means liability in debt. Do you understand? Liability in debt is what we call as assets minus. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting business stuff, business tips on a regular basis. Thank you. I'm Daniel. So follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on all platforms. Daniel. So yeah.